Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm checking out a 2022 Honda Civic in the Sport trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 235/40 Goodyear tires wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Crystal Black Pearl, and it's a nice black color, and it does have a little bit of sparkle to it when you see it in the direct sunlight. Kind of hard to pick it up on camera, but it is a little bit more of a special color than just black. So here in the front, you can see the daytime running lights are illuminated right now there on the outside. LED. All the LED headlights here in the front as well. Now, since this is a black vehicle, it does have black trimmings here in the front and the grille, so it doesn't pop out as much. So this is all a flat black grille here, and then at the base of the vehicle as well. And then this little black portion kind of goes around what would be the fog light if it had it, but it does have this little placeholder for a fog light, so it maintains that same style. The headlights are a multi-reflector LED system for your low and your high beams. The inner portion is the high beams, the outer portion of each one is the low beams. I have a full night video, you can check it out on my channel if you want to. See all about the interior and exterior lighting of the vehicle at nighttime. In the Sport trim level, there's a lot of gloss black and matte black. So the side mirrors are a gloss black here, and then around the glass is all a matte black. So it kind of, if you were to tint the windows, it would kind of solidify all this stuff right here, the glass and right into the vehicle as well. The handles are also a gloss black, and it also matches the gloss black wheels. So there's a lot of that going on in this vehicle and this particular color, since it is a gloss black vehicle. This is what the key looks like, and it's a full proximity key, and it's a little bit different design this year, fully rounded and not too heavy. Has a remote start, the ability to release the trunk and lock and unlock buttons here. So it's a full proximity key, so you can just have this with you, use the vehicle 100%. As long as you have the key on the outside of the door, it could be in your pocket, in a bag. You can put your finger over the sensor here on the door, indicated by these three little dimples, to lock the doors. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle, and there's a sensor back here, and it senses the key on the outside of the door and allows you access to the vehicle. There's also a physical key location here right under there, underneath the handle, in case you need to use the physical key, which is located on the inside of the key fob. The inside of the passenger side door, all black except for some contrast stitching right in here. And everything is a hard touch surface, including up here, hard touch. Everything's hard touch except for there on your armrest, and then around is a cloth material. It's not super soft, but it is a soft touch relative to the rest of the door. Now this handle right here is enclosed. You can utilize that as a little pocket, and then you have the larger pockets at the bottom. Manually adjusted cloth seats here on the Sport trim. Now it has a little, like a vinyl type material there on the edges, but the inside is a cloth, and it has a little bit of a pattern there with a stripe in the middle. Plenty of legroom here in the front. The glove compartment is not locking. It does have a smooth on the inside, smooth surface on the inside, and it's a smooth plastic, hard touch, so it's easy to clean, and you can kind of like wipe it out or whatever. You have some gloss black here on the dash, and those honeycomb grill covering up the climate control vents. The dash is a injection molded soft touch surface. Here's the opening here in the front, which is really great in the front. Getting in and out, there's not much of an issue as far as headroom or anything like that. The back door does have some angles here and here, but otherwise it's pretty good for the size of the vehicle. They did a pretty good job of allowing you plenty of space to get in and out. The swing of the door could be a little bit wider, but you know, it's not too bad. Now here's the inside of the back door, and very similar styling, except for it has less soft touch. So the only soft touch surface is this cloth right here for your armrest. The rest of it is all a hard touch surface. The back seat is less stylish than the front. It does not have that stripe in the middle, but it does have the vinyl type material here on the edges, cloth in the center, latch system for car seats, and it does have a fold down seat back, so it's not a 60-40 split or anything like that. It just folds down one piece to add to your cargo space in your trunk. There's no pockets on the back of these seats. It does have a significant hump in the middle. It is flat on top though, and then there's no climate control vents or anything right in here. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has a gloss black shark fin antenna right here. The third brake light is at the base of the glass here at the bottom. There's a little contour to the trunk, kind of looks like a deck led spoiler. Has sport badging here on the back. The tail lights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. The tail lights, brake lights are LED, the reverse lights and turn signals are standard bulbs. The backup camera is quite a bit offset here to the left of the emblem, so it's right in here. Now the Sport does have a chrome exhaust tip here, which is visible and it's intended to be. These are reflectors, not lights. Now opening up the trunk, you can of course use the key, or in the Sport trim you can have a little button right here to lift it up. So you can see a little button there in the middle to open it up, and then there's the backup camera. Has insulation on the underside of the trunk door, and the inside has like a cloth material there on the inside. And you'll notice it's not covered up. There's no protection here in this metal portion. So under here where the speakers and wires are, there's some exposed metal, and the seats, or the seat itself, folds down so you can add to your cargo space. It folds down in one piece. And you fold it down by pulling this latch right here. And you just pull that, then you go around and then pull the seat down when you want to fold it down. So you have the seat down or up. You don't have the option of, you know, passenger and cargo space. It's either or. Under this floor is a spare tire and tools and a funnel. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, and it locks with the vehicle, so when the vehicle is locked it will also lock, and it is a capless design. Starting it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, just push and hold the brake and push this button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now the floor mats are not in place, but it does have a place to hook them. There's 2 points in which you'll hook the floor mat in place to keep it from sliding around on you or twisting. The accelerator and brake pedal has the raised rubber aluminum pedals, and then there's a footrest here on the left side. And this has like a plastic cover to protect that footrest. Let's take a look under the hood. The latch is right here. Raise the hood. The release is right here, a little bit to the left of center, right here. You just reach in and move it to the right. So you can see, and that releases the hood. You lift it up. It doesn't weigh that much, but it does require a prop to hold it up. It's right in this area, and you swing it up. Hooks here, or there's a secondary place down here as well. So you can, if you want to lift up the hood a little bit more, you can do that as well. Insulation on the underside of the hood. And here's the engine compartment, and the firewall is almost completely covered with insulation. There's some heat shielding back there as well. And the shock towers, our strut towers here, are braced in with the unibody structure of the vehicle. So there's a 4-cylinder engine. It's oriented this way since it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. The exhaust is here in the front, and the intake is there in the back. The battery is here on the right side. It's insulated and it's easy to get to, so that's nice. So it's a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, 158 horsepower, and it's paired to a CVT, continuously variable transmission. Inside of the driver's side doors, just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So there's power windows here. The front's your automatic one-touch up and down. Door locks are here, and then the side mirrors are adjusted. You just pick a side and adjust it with this little pad. You have the ability to release the trunk there. Manually adjusted seat for the driver's side, but it does have a height adjustment in addition to the regular seat positions that the passenger side has. To the left of the steering column, there's the dimmer switch for your interior gauges right here. And then traction control off button, default is on. In case you need to spin tires, you can turn off traction control. And this is a kind of a shortcut button to quickly go to a setting for some of your safety features there on the screen. You can turn them on or off if you need to. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column that locks in place with this lever. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down to give you an idea of the potential legroom here. And it's just a little bit too far back for me. The angle of the footrest is good, but overall, as far as the legroom, it seems fine. I don't think you have a problem. If you're over 6 feet tall, should be no problem driving this vehicle. So the Sport has the leather steering wheel. You can see the gloss black around it as well. So it has the stitching there on the inside. Cruise control buttons are here on the front right side of the steering wheel. And it has the ability to turn it on, set, resume, and cancel. But also it's the adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist system. You can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you using that button, cycle through and choose the distance you want, and then this one you can turn on or off. You can toggle on or off the lane keep assist, will actually turn the steering wheel and keep you in the center of the lane. On the left side is the volume for the radio, change to the tracks of the radio, source, audio source, you can cycle through those, just rest on the one you want. This home button and this little scroll wheel, and then there's a center of the scroll wheel you can push in to make selections, and that corresponds with the screen and the gauges. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then there's voice recognition. So this is where you can push the button to answer a phone call, or use the voice recognition system to say commands and stuff. There's also paddle shifters here on the steering wheel as well. So there's the plus and the minus, and it simulates, since this is a CVT transmission, it does not have a gears to change through, so it just simulates gear. It just gives you a higher or lower speed ratio, which is the same thing as changing gears, basically. The windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. Turn signals on the left, but it also has your headlight switch. Shows off, automatic, parking, and then headlights on. You can toggle on or off the daytime running lights by bumping it to the off. So it actually have a little indicator up here as you toggle back and forth, letting you know whether they're on or not. So this little home button and this scroll wheel is rubberized too, which is nice. So looking at we're going to use that in just a minute, those controls. But looking at the gauges here, it has a traditional speedometer there on the right side, fuel gauge at the very bottom, digital speedometer, odometer, outside temperature, that kind of thing. And then you see these little white lines right here, those will change colors. So they'll change to a green if you're driving easy, and then white if you're kind of giving it too much gas, and it'll take it out of like the eco mode or eco-friendly driving. It's kind of like lets you know how you're doing while you're driving as far as consuming fuel. Now here on the left side, you can see this area right here. It shows a digital digital representation of a needle on a screen, and for the tachometer or the RPMs. So using the home button and the little scroll wheel I showed you just a second ago, we push the home button, it pops up this, and you can see there's different selections here. Now I had it on no content. So let's go ahead and scroll through here. So we have a customized display in which we can choose different options here. All right. right, we can go to settings here. It has a little status bar that scrolls through. Safety support. Choose which ones we want to turn on, the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist. So collision mitigation braking system and the road departure mitigation. These two features are, you know, basically they automatically engage at a certain point based on the information that the vehicle gets. If you want to turn these features off to where they don't automatically engage, you can do that here. And that's what this button down here takes you to. When you push that shortcut button, it takes you to the safety and support. It's just like that. It goes right to that screen, and then that way you can make the selections that you want. Accidentally hit the horn. All right, so let's go back here. All right, maintenance. So we can select that. It'll let us know our oil life. Seat belts. This is pretty cool. It lets you know the status of the seat belts and if there's any occupants. So it's showing there's an occupant on the driver's seat, but the seat belt is not fastened, and it'll look like that if there's other seats if there's somebody sitting in the seat and they don't have the seat belt fastened, which is pretty neat. All right, driver attention. Apparently, it's letting you know whether you're driving appropriately or not. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but. Speed and time, you can get that information here and you can reset it. Range and fuel, so you can see how far you can go. Warnings will show up here. There's no warnings. And then we can go back to no content here. So just have a little blank spot in the middle of the tachometer. So that's kind of a quick rundown of what the screen's about in the sport trim level. The higher trim levels will look a little bit different, but you know, it does have, you know, similar features. It just adds more to what you see here. All right, so we saw the start button. So you can see when the engine's running, now it's red, before it was white. All right, here's the touchscreen display, and it has a little bit of a glare on the camera, but it's not really an issue on real life. It has a physical volume knob, tuned through the stations. You can see this is the FM right here, so it's AM, FM. You have presets there at the bottom. You have different media sources here. So Bluetooth, USB, different options there. So you have streaming Bluetooth. You have also Apple CarPlay Android Auto capability. You just have to plug it in to the USB port in order for that to activate. And of course, streaming, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, there's a lot of additional features there. All right, when you push menu, it pulls up your menu system, and this is a touchscreen, so you can make selections and all that stuff if you want. So here's the climate control, and it has an automatic function. There's your temperature control. To turn on automatic, you just push here. There's your temperature control, and you can see it'll show up right there what temperature you have set. It'll also show up here on the screen. And these knobs are pretty neat. They're kind of like kind of fancy faceted type knobs, and they have a little round backlight. You can check out my night video showing you what all the lights look like on the inside and outside of the vehicle. The fan speed is controlled here, and then to change where you want the air to blow, you turn this knob, and you can choose where you want air to go, whether you want the defrost on or whatever. Now the automatic, basically you just set the temperature, push automatic, and it'll adjust the fan speed and where the air blows automatically. You do have the front rear defrosters, recirculate the air. You can manually turn on or off the air conditioning system. 12-volt power supply and a USB port here. And there's a little storage area right in here, and it goes in there quite a ways. And this is a rubber bottom portion that you can take out, clean, put it back in. Here's the shifter. When you put it in reverse, the backup camera, 3-position backup camera, pops up here. So you have a super wide view, kind of stretched out wide view, but it gives you the best visibility in either direction behind the vehicle. A more linear view is the second view, and then the third view is a kind of like top down, directly what's on the ground behind the vehicle. Has active guidelines as well. So as I turn the steering wheel, you can see the little lines move, which is pretty neat. All right, so this neutral, drive, and that's it on the shifter. Now it does have drive modes here. So you have the center position is neutral, so it'll actually show up here on the screen. So if I go up, it goes to sport. If I go down, it's neutral, and then econ. There's normal, instead of neutral, normal, econ, normal, and sport. And it has a neat little picture there as well on the one that you rest on. This has the auto stop-start feature. You can turn that feature off when you get in the vehicle if you don't want the vehicle to stop the engine when you come to a complete stop. The electronic parking brake, you engage it by lifting it up, and it engages the rear wheels. And to release it, you hold the brake and push it down. And then brake hold feature actually holds the brake pedal for you when you come to a complete stop. And it'll hold it until you push the accelerator. And it's even if you're in drive. So if you come to a complete stop and at a stoplight or traffic jam or whatever, it'll hold the brake for you while you sit there and wait for traffic or whatever. So here's the cup holders, and it has little articulating arms. It takes up the slack for different size cups, which is nice. It only has them on one side though, and then there's the center portion here that accommodates for mug handles or just utilizing this space for other things besides cups. Here's the armrest, and it's a cloth material. It's pretty soft though. You probably want to put like some kind of Scotch guard or something on it to protect it over time as far as getting stained, or just, since you're resting your arm on it, and it's right here in the center where you can spill stuff on it or whatever. But it feels pretty good. It feels good and nice and soft and looks nice. It's not big enough to share with the passenger though. I would say, I wouldn't share it. All right, so lift it up, and it has kind of spring loaded so it doesn't slam back down on you, which is nice. It goes up right there, as far back as it goes, and there's this little tray, kind of quick access tray you can put here in the front or the back. Has a place for it. On the back side it has little Honda thing on the back. And here's a storage compartment here, and it's all black on the inside. It's kind of hard to see in there. There is a rubberized portion at the bottom, and then you can take that out, clean it, put it back in. Rear view mirror is auto. It's a manual day and night mode, so it's manual. And you have some quick access reading lights. Has little ambient lights right in here. The visors are a cloth material, just like the headliner. And there's a mirror, but no lights. It does extend out. And that's about it. There's no clips or anything special about the visors. Taking a look at the visibility there in the back. The pillars are kind of divided up so you can see through them. Lots of windows back there. So it's not really an issue as far as visibility, relatively speaking, any more than it's not bad or anything. But it does have the backup camera and stuff to help you out. All right, there you have it. 2022 Honda Civic Sport sedan. So thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.